Hi. So there are a few more things I'd like to say about Putney before we move on. But first, what do you think of my new haircut? I really like it, so I hope you do too. I would be remiss if I didn't mention that my two very best friends in Putney were Tania Emma and Sarah Johnson. And I am thrilled that I am in touch, have been in touch with both of them in the past couple of years, and I'm still in touch with Tania, and that's just really, really nice. I remember one Halloween, and this is kind of a funny story. Sarah, if you watch this, I hope you don't mind me telling it. Sarah and I are both, or were both, very headstrong. I'm still quite headstrong. I don't know if Sarah is. And so, though she was one of my best friends, there were times when we might disagree a little bit on some things. And one Halloween, I was at her house, and I was collecting coins at that time. And I was pretty into it, especially pennies. And there was a big bowl of change in the Johnson house for the kids who were coming to collect for UNICEF. Do kids still do that anymore? My son did it once, and it seemed like he was really in the minority. So I'm curious about that. But anyways, there was a big bowl of pennies and I think some nickels and dimes for the kids collecting for UNICEF. And I was looking through it, and I found what I considered the holy grail of pennies. It was a 1909 VDB, which was the mint, penny. And I begged Sarah to let me have it. It was only a penny. I was willing to exchange it for another penny, and she would not let me have it, and that 1909 VDB penny went into a UNICEF box. Sarah, I forgive you. That's a joke, although I do. I also had a couple of good male friends, David Runyon and Alex Craven. I've tried to find them, to get in touch with them. I do not know where they are. Hopefully they're okay. I remember having a sleepover at one of their houses. No, he wouldn't have slept over at my house. We lived in a house that was actually condemned. But anyways, and it was the change of the month. And they had, and I honestly don't remember whether this was Alex or David. So if one of them is watching, maybe you can enlighten me. But they had a tradition of saying something like bunny, bunny, rabbit, rabbit at the beginning of the month. Very odd and very fun. And so we did that during that sleepover. I also remember Sarah had an easy bake oven. And I so wanted one of those. I just thought it was the coolest thing ever. And in fact, both of my kids had easy bake ovens because I remembered how much I wanted one. So, you're welcome, kids. Let's see, what else? Oh, another memory about the Johnson family. Sarah had two siblings, Timothy and Rebecca. And kids can be cruel. And I remember Rebecca asking her siblings, what did mentally retarded mean? And I believe it was Tim who told her it means super smart. And so for about a week, Rebecca went around telling everyone that she was mentally retarded. Yes, very un-PC these days, I know, but the kids thought it quite funny. Let's see, what else? Peter Dixon, I had a terrible crush on you when we were at the grammar school in 3rd or 4th grade. Peter Shumlin, Governor of Vermont now. I am so proud of you, and I follow him on Facebook. Oh, and then this memory. Quite an interesting one, and I will close with this. One year, the grammar school was going to let their facilities be used during the summer to host some sort of exchange student program. And so, because there were not shower facilities, this is my recollection at least, at the time, they had to create an outside shower house. At least I think it was a shower house. It might have been an outside toilet, though of course there were bathrooms in the school. And if you're wondering why I'm moving around so much, this is why. Anyways, so one of the things that all the kids had to do that year was dig the foundation to help with this outside facility that was being put in for these students that were going to stay there during the summer. And I was in the pit digging away, and I was, again, I left Vermont at 11, so I was younger than that. And I thought I was being really cool. I had my shovel and I was digging and throwing it over my shoulder. And the math teacher, Joan Shore, suddenly came up to me and said, "Watch it, you almost hit me with that dirt." And I, being a smart aleck and, not all that respectful at times, yes, I know it's true, shocking, mumbled under my breath, "Better you than me." I don't know why I did that. I'm sorry I did that. But in any event, she heard me, and she grabbed me by the ear, marched me over to a stoop, and said, "You sit there for the rest of the period." Well, as soon as she turned her back, I ran away, and I walked into town. And as I was walking along the main road into town, I came across two Putney high school students. I didn't know that's what they were at the time, but they were also walking. And that's how I met Kathleen Kennedy. And in fact, I wrote to her last year, and she remembered that incident as well. So pretty cool, huh? All right. I think the next installment really will be how I struck out on my own at the age of 11.